Hi everyone. I I haven't put too much out there recently as far as video. I've been struggling um, with my mental health, and I am trying to talk to you guys about mental health in the military versus mental health as an adolescent. I have realized that speaking with people and understanding people and coming to reality with my own demons and my own self. I would like to share a little bit about what I believe and what I think, and um, I would like to uh, let you guys know I'm not a therapist. I'm not, gonna tell you what's gonna work for you, what's gonna work for the next person, because that's just not how it is. Um, I've come to grips with life to understand myself. I'm actually going to be going to a great facility up in Virginia to get some mental health help and find reasoning, find forgiveness, find um, healing. And I'm not telling the next soldier or my own, my friend or anybody what to do, what to not to do. This is just me, what my situation is and how I've worked through it, and um, what I'm gonna do to find my healing. Uh, it's gonna be different for everyone. Everyone's story is different. Everyone's, you know, I don't know how to say this. Everyone's walk is different. You know, some may have experienced, just military related things. Some people have, you know, um, experienced things such as, adolescent sexual abuse, adolescent um, uh, trauma, basically. Um, physical, mental, uh, things like that. Um, I had this thought today, and I've talked to a few guys, and I've realized that my bracket in the military, now it's not all like that. Like I said, everybody's walk of life is different. Somebody may have had things happen to them in the military. It wasn't, combat related, but it was still trauma. It was, traumatizing for them. Mentally, emotionally, physically, traumatizing. Um, and I'm sorry if I'm getting, a little, fidgeting and stuff. It's just part of my body language when I'm a little nervous. Um, I've had issues with talking in front of people, so this is me trying to, I guess, cope with myself and, seeing what I can do in front of a camera, because talking in front of people is not my cup of tea. Uh, when I went to school, military school, to do uh, speaking or whatever it's called, I had a hard time because I couldn't keep eye contact. I couldn't, um, it's one of the things they teach you: keep eye contact with your viewers or your audience. And I think a little bit of that has to do with my own trauma, actually, because uh, I'm going to go a little bit off topic. So when I was a child, I was told to keep looking to my eyes, and when you're talking to me, look into my eyes. I was like, okay, what kind of, weird stuff is this? Um, and it's a form of psychological warfare. That's what I believe. It's psychological in here. People want you to give them attention, even though you don't want to give them attention because of the trust. If there's no trust between the people, there's not gonna be no eye contact. There's gonna be no uh, respect. You know, respect is not given; it's earned. Sometimes though, there are some people that say, well, you'll respect that person until they don't have your respect. But I find it in my own walks of life. My own walk of life is that your respect is earned. I don't care who you are. You're gonna earn my respect. Not It's not given. I'm sorry. It's just not. That's how I feel. But the other thing was, I believe, that you should be able to call your parents your mom and dad, not yes ma'am, yes sir. I don't know. My parents were never in the military. My adopted parents never in the military. Didn't didn't have that concept, so I don't know where they got it from. But I've always had to, say yes sir, yes ma'am, no sir, no ma'am. And then if I didn't, there's a consequence. Watch out, because if you don't call me sir or ma'am, I mean, here in the army, it's different. There's a rank on the chest. You call them yes sir, ma'am, sergeant. Uh, it's just one thing, but I guess um, this is the new generation we live in. Honestly, this is the new generation we live in where I feel the change needs to happen. You know, I don't think it's okay to be super super hard on your kids. Um, I was beaten. I was traumatized. I was you know basically anything you can think of. Um, and I'm really realizing now, or I've realized it for a long time. I just I've realized that being like those people, it they're gonna have nobody in the end. Not one single soul will want to be around them, want to be with them. Um, and guess what? They're gonna have their own little tiny hell, you know, of brimstone where they're picking up hot coals and doing whatever, the deepest part of the sea. And um, but I think the concept of mental health is to seek it. Like I had a hard time. I had a hard time seeking help because I thought I was the strongest man, strongest person. I have all the answers, and I'm gonna do it myself, and I'm the biggest baddest dude around. I may be that, but I'm not all that in a box of cereal. Okay. Um, I've sought help now. This will be my fifth time, and it will take time. It's time that you have, because until my dying breath, I'm gonna seek help. I'm gonna seek my guidance from my therapist, my the people that are around me that love me. Um, I've realized that there's some people that you just don't need in your life. You know, um, I have moved my past by a little bit. I will not give. my perpetrators the energy of time of day anymore. Like if you, and I'm not saying you like meaning everybody, I'm just saying if you want to lessen the hurt, lessen the pain, lessen the drugs, maybe the works, you know. Being on a pill is not that big of a deal. It's not, it doesn't hurt you. It's not going to kill you, okay? Um but also seeking the help from actual people that have done so much research and so much time given to do through the mental health portion. I've met so many people that are like, you know, what can I do to help? What can, how can we ease your pain? And it's hard because the forgiveness part was the main point in all the conversations I've had. And I don't think I have forgiven the people that were the closest to me. I have not forgiven them. Mostly because I don't want to, um, because they don't deserve my forgiveness. They don't deserve it. But I mean, I guess in a sense, people are, you know, right. You have to forgive the ones that have trespassed against you, just like, you know, it says in the Bible. I'm not a big Bible fan. I don't. I pray here and there, but I don't. You know, the Bible says, and I keep bringing this up. I don't know if, you know, people understand what I'm saying, but it says in the Bible, as long as you believe the small as of a mustard seed, you will go to heaven. Now, I haven't. I still have my doubts. I still have my tribulations, and you know, I still try to find the good, but I just feel like there's else, something else, and it's just not there. The only reason, here's my reasoning behind Christianity. Now, people are going to get mad. People are going to get, you know, probably throw hate messages out there against me. It's okay. I'm not here to fight. Okay. I'm not here to fight or say, you know, oh, uh, you're an atheist. You have no room to talk. Blah 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 blah. Dude, I've been through it. Okay. I've gone to every church. I've been, you know, it, I've been everywhere. Every single denomination you can think of, I've been there. I started with Catholic, went to Catholic. My parents got kicked out of the church. Step two, went to Lutheran church. I was like, okay, this, you know, this seems like a, you know, a good setting, you know. And then my dad's like, nope, I'm gonna rip you out. You're gonna be going to Pentecostal. Hey, what's Pentecostal? I walk in, everybody's speaking in tongues, and like, oh, I was like, I came there 3 or 4 times, and then they're like, "Hey, you gotta speak in tongues, otherwise, you know, Jesus is not gonna come and save you." I was like, "Oh, okay, so blobbity hobbity shoo," and they're like, "Oh, great, he's saved, praise Jesus." I'm like, "Oh my God, man!" Like, I get it. I love all of you. Okay, I love all of you. I love every person. But when you try to throw Christianity or any kind of religion down somebody's throat, it ruins it for that person. It really does. Um, I then went to a church in Georgia, and this is my, I guess, my religion trauma, because I have never found religion. I've never had a steady path to follow in a religion. Um, I went to Georgia. I was going through a hard time with my marriage. I was getting divorced. I was going through a lot of stuff on my active duty side. Two gentlemen came up. They're like, "Hey, would you like would you like to come to church? I'm just sitting on the pedestal outside the barracks, and they go, "You want to come to church?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" You know, like can't hurt. What is gonna hurt? Just try. So I went to church, and behold, the preacher goes, "Hmm. No, you're not allowed any type of alcohol whatsoever. None. No wine, no beer, no alcohol. You're a sinner. You sin against God, you go to hell." I'm like, "Oh my God. I'm gonna go to hell for drinking a beer?" Dude, do you realize 80% of the military? We all going to hell. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, what's the next thing? So I get out of stand up. Everybody, is ready to go home. And one of the guys comes up to me and says, "Hey, the preacher wants to, sit down and talk with you about the tithing portion and some other stuff." And I was like, "Okay, well, what am I tithing?" He's like, "Well, here's how it works in our church. We tie the entire paycheck to God." I was like, uh, uh, what? Yeah. Oh, we help you with everything. If you need anything, the church's got you. I was like, okay, well, I don't have a car. I don't. Oh, it's okay. Just tie your entire check to us. We'll take care of you. I'm like, I was hurting like mentally already. I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm gonna be broke. Now I'm gonna be now I'm gonna be divorced. I'm gonna be divorced in the next month. I'm sitting here. What am I doing? And I'm like, all right, well, let me go and think this over. But my mind was like, I ain't coming back to this church. Next thing I know, a week later, the church is under investigation by, I don't know what agency, but I guess it came out to be a cult. People were losing money. People lost a whole bunch of money. People lost trust in the church. Uh, there was a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. CID was sitting on a pew or something and listening in to the preacher or what, but it was horrible, horrible. That was probably one of my lowest lives in my life, and uh, once again, there was a God. There sure was a huge devil on the doorsteps of the church. But anyway, so getting back to my normal conversation about mental health. Uh, I found this journal. It's shadow work. I've been working on it a little bit here and there. My first 2 days, uh, it's kind of hard to think about what is written on paper and then be like, okay, how is this, how is this written and what it means to me? And I'm like, I don't even know what this means, but let me write this. It feels good. It feels good to write something down, be like, hey, this is what I think it is. This is what how I should think. Um, and so I've been working on that and going to therapy now. This will be my second normal week that I've actually seen a therapist, and it's going great. Got a lot of stuff off my shoulders a little bit. Um, I mean, this is so a little bit about reason why I'm doing this is because I want to kind of like see where I'm at after I'm done. So if you guys want to follow along, subscribe, it's I'm not asking for you guys to do that, but if you guys do want to, it's somewhat beneficial to hearing somebody else's story in somebody else's mind. But um I think this day and age, there's maybe probably 20, I don't want to say 20, maybe 45% that have now probably have seen combat, that are still in, that are still hurting, that are still, going through the motions of trying to get help, or they're not wanting to get help. I'm telling you right now, you are not alone, okay? you're not alone. Um, my comments are open. You guys can comment. You can guys, I don't have a Facebook. I don't have social media, so please don't. I probably have like 7 Facebooks out there on Facebook, but none. I'm not on them. Okay, I don't talk on there. If you want to reach out, you can reach out on the comment page, and then I'll go from there. I'll sift through them and answer your questions and your comments and your um, and such. And if you guys need someone to talk to, I'm here. You're not alone. Okay, I've been to 5 different rehabs now. My 5th one's coming up. Actually, I'll be going to Virginia for 6 to 9 months. And we'll see where I'm at with that. But I think every day till I get back, I'm gonna do a 30-minute video of what I learned, what I got out of the meetings, what I've got out of myself for that day, and also I will provide a link. And if you guys need help, if you guys need to go somewhere, if you guys need um, mental health, there's plenty of people out there that care. Okay, there are plenty of people that care, plenty of therapists, plenty of so the place I'm going to is a uh, residential mental health facility in Virginia. It's not like the VA where they're going to take your phone, your computer, laptop, your all your stuff out out of your bag. You don't, obviously don't bring the drugs, or just the drugs that you're supposed to take. Um, you won't, like they won't tell you, hey, you can't smoke cigarettes, or you can't do chew. Just be respectful in class. If the guy says, hey, I don't want you chewing in here, it's I'll let you guys know what the place is and how it is, and do like a story of my life there. And you guys can kind of take it with a grain of salt, or maybe if you want to go there, you might actually, it's a religious form of mental health. Yes, I don't, like I said, I don't condone religion. I just, I'd rather, you know, not be in a religion. But going there, so I'm just gonna give it, some some time, and maybe I'll heal, maybe I'll, even find God again, or God in general. Um, but this is my form. This is very, very raw footage. Like, you can't get no rawer than this. Like, this is just me, and uh, me conditioning my speech, and my help to others. So as I was saying, a lot of people have experienced military trauma, and then outside of military trauma, they have a lot of people have experienced um, adolescence trauma. Now, a lot of it combined makes it 10 times worse, because not only are you dealing with the past transgressions of the perpetrators in your childhood, but now you're also dealing with the trauma that has caused you to, have PTSD. Maybe the PTSD is both from childhood and the army. Maybe it's PTSD from whatever circumstance you were in. Um, uh, Mine, I feel, is like a 50-50 thing. I have trauma with mostly my adoptive parents. And then I got into an accident in 2016, I believe, in a Bradley. Bradley smashed into a 10-foot ditch. We broke track. My arm was pinned between my a body and the droop hatch. and I smashed my head into my platoon sergeant's head, or my squad leader's head, and my squad leader hit his head off the door first and then slammed me, and I was I was hurting really bad. My vision was gone basically. I couldn't see. I was falling asleep at the wheel. It was disaster. But anyway, so I believe the mental health thing. A lot of people, or a lot of, I don't want to say soldiers, but I guess yeah, you can say soldiers, um, or even people in like different roles in the community, like police officers. I mean, they probably have 10 times more PTSD than we do in the military, because they have to deal with crazy people and people with guns and pulling guns on them and stuff like that. And um but I think it's more than just your day-to-day PTSD. I think it's your past experiences, your past childhood, your all your stuff that you go through day in and day out, and it's a trauma infused life that somebody lives day to day, and then when they finally are seeking help, they've lost everything. They've lost their family, their job, their house, their car, their everything. I've been there. I've lost everything multiple times. And I'm trying to find my way back so that I don't do this constantly to myself, to my family. And I've realized how badly I've hurt so many people in my life because of my trauma, and me not seeking the help, me um, sabotaging myself. And that's why I'm getting the help. I mean, that's the only way around it. You can't go through it. Can't go through your trauma. So you gotta go away from your trauma and seek help. And that's what I'm doing. Hopefully that does me some good. And you don't want to screw up your life or people around you, because you won't have nobody left. I promise you. Don't keep living the life and the lie that you are, you know, you're okay, and you know, but you're not. Um, I have friends, I have family members that they rely on, not drugs but alcohol mostly. They'll rely on alcohol to soothe their pain and their suffering and the images in their brain. And some of them have become alcoholics, and it hurts me because I see where I'm at. I don't do drugs. I don't do alcohol. Very rarely do I do alcohol, but I don't do none of that. And I'm like, man, I could be that guy. I could be worse off. And but I'm doing the same thing without substance abuse. Same thing. So the next guy's, worse. And I can't tell people to get help. Can't force them to get help. You gotta want it for themselves. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm here, talking to you guys, because I am going to be going to receive help. And I feel like a lot of people should know that it's okay. It's okay to go get help. It really is. It's going to be okay, um, uh, and there's going to be people there for you. They're going to help you through it. When you're having bad days, they're going to be there. And if not by choice, maybe your family will be there. They'll support you. um, let them know what's going on. Be like, hey, I'm going to receive some help, and I want to be a better person, because that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it to be a better me. and a better father, a better husband, and it's going to be okay. Well, anyway, this is what's kind of a shorthand, quick video. If you guys want to watch more, I'll have more on this, and we're just going to talk about, this type of stuff throughout my videos, and something comes up, I'll write down paper, and we'll talk about it. And if you guys have something that you want me to discuss, because you guys, not everybody's okay with doing this type of stuff. So if you guys have something that you would like me to talk about, and do like a, I don't want to say paper, but if you want me to talk about it, and we'll go through it and get some more people to be aware, and we'll talk about it. You guys have a great day, great night, and I'll look to hear back from any of you, whoever's watching this. Have a good night.